Good evening. Welcome to Current Affairs. Within very few minutes from now, GST is going to be rolled out. Goods and Services Tax. In fact, India is waiting for this for quite a long period of time. So there are so many other nations that have already introduced this is GST. And with respect to this GST, of course, there are some apprehensions. But initially, what is going to happen is that initial hiccups will be there because it takes some time for the people to understand what exactly is this. So even for the experts also at this stage, it is really difficult to analyze what exactly is going to happen. But for the coming 2 to 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, definitely it is going to be very crucial. All of a sudden, what will happen is the prices of certain commodities will increase. Prices of certain articles will increase and certain articles it may be reduced. So there is a little variation. For example, let me tell you, if you look at service tax all these days, so we have paid 15%. So under this new regime of this GST, so you need to pay 18%. The people will feel pain with this. So, but it takes a little time for India to understand the exact benefits of this GST. Of course, finance minister is giving confidence to the people, and in one of the lectures last month, I believe, so we explained a lot of things with respect to positive aspects and negative aspects with respect to implementation of GST in India. But anyways, so this is one of the very major reform that is happening in India from today onwards, from tomorrow onwards. So obviously, the people should be ready for that. So this is one reason why people must be educated well in advance before you introduce this. Of course, the government had tried its best, and almost all the states in the country they have cooperated with the central government in passing the GST, and almost all the states they have passed the SGST. So this is really a wonderful thing. And the Prime Minister of India is going to deliver a speech on this occasion that is going to happen so within few minutes from now. All right. So but long run, definitely GST is going to be really helpful to the people. All right. So that is number one. So and number two, the second one is that yesterday the election commission has announced. Election commission has announced the vice presidential elections. Of course, the term of the vice president is 5 years, and it is going to come to an end very soon, and you need to conduct the elections, right? And of course, with respect to that, let's have a discussion separately. But otherwise, I have some more information with me, and I would like to share that information with you. Now, you know the concept of these elections. Elections to Lok Sabha, elections to Rajya Sabha, elections to assemblies, and elections to legislative councils. All these elections are conducted by the Central Election Commission. And Election Commission is an autonomous body, and it has been given lots of powers. But does the Election Commission has the power to disqualify any person? And the answer for this is yes. So this is because, so one of the these rules with respect to these elections is that every candidate who is contesting the elections is permitted to spend money. So without spending money, campaigning is not possible. But for every rupee that you have spent, you have to submit accounts to the election commission. So that it should happen within 30 days from the date of announcement of the results. And election commission has every right to verify that one, and it will be doing the auditing. And if there are any differences, election commission has every right to take action on the concerned person. Similar thing happened in Madhya Pradesh, and one of the ministers has been disqualified, and this is because in the elections that were held in the year 2008, that person did not show the expenditure that is related to the paid news. That was not part of the accounts. So it happened in the year 2008, and again in the year 2013 there was an election, and again you are going to have the election in the year 2018. So, but this is the case that is related to 2008. Now the election commission took a decision, and the person has been disqualified, and he has not been permitted, and he will not be permitted to contest in any election for the coming 3 years. So if it is 3 years, what will happen? Obviously, he will not be in a position to contest in the next election, of Madhya Pradesh. So meaning is simple. So this is the mechanism how you can maintain discipline in the people who are contesting the elections. Otherwise, what will happen? The people who belong to various political parties, they take it for granted. So they spend more money and they will not submit the accounts, and there is so much of difference between the accounts actually they are submitting and the amount that they are spending. Election Commission, with this particular incident, it has expressed its intention that it is not going to be any show any lenience, and no lenience will be there, and the strict action will be taken. And this is how the Election Commission is expected to work. And of course, some people already commented that Election Commission could have taken a decision much earlier, but at least now Election Commission has taken a decision. And of course, the decision of the Election Commission is subjected to judicial review, and this person who has been disqualified, he is going to he's moving the judiciary also. So but the thing is that, so these are the very, very serious incidents that are happening in the country. India is a democratic country, there is no doubt about this. So, but with respect to democracy, democracy should not be mocked by the people like this. And this is not just one incident. There are so many people in the country who are contesting in the elections, and they mock the whole process in the form of not submitting the accounts properly. And this is an example that Election Commission has the right to take the actions. See, especially when you write examinations like civil services main examination. So there, kindly remember, so if there is a question that is related to the Khasi judicial bodies, right? So judicial body is a body so that will give the judgments. Khasi judicial body is also giving the judgments, and that is giving punishment to the people with relation to certain aspects. Hence, in this particular case, I can say Election Commission is considered to be a Khasi judicial body. And of course, this is useful for the people who are preparing for the descriptive type of examinations, like a civil services main examination or group 1 services main examination, which is conducted at the various state levels, right? So now I'll open the document and I'll show you that. So after that, let's go ahead. Look at this. The Election Commission has ordered the disqualification of Madhya Pradesh Minister Narottam Mishra for having filed a wrong account of his poll expenditure during the 2008 assembly elections in the state, as laid down under Section 7B of the RPA, Representatives of People Act of 1951. Mishra stands debarred from being a member of either of the houses of the state legislature, and also from contesting polls for 3 years from the date of issue of the disqualification order. 3 years. So obviously, he will not be in a position to contest in the 2018 assembly elections of Madhya Pradesh. Right? Look at this. So he can no longer be in the cabinet in view of the Election Commission ordering his disqualification, and will have to skip the 2018 assembly poll in Madhya Pradesh. Right? But as I told you, this person will move the judiciary. And kindly remember, the decisions of the Election Commission are subjected to judicial review. Next. So this Narottam Mishra was a water and irrigation minister, and was elected from Datia constituency of Madhya Pradesh. And as you are aware of this, GSAT 17, it's India's latest communication satellite. Right? So meaning the successful launch is continued. And GSAT. So this is the latest one in India's successful list. So this is a communication satellite, but the point is that it has not been launched from India. It has been launched from Kauru, French Guyana, right? So kindly remember. So what is GSAT 17? So this is the communication satellite. Look at this. So this is India's latest communication satellite. It has been successfully launched on June 29th, 2017, right? And it was launched by a heavy duty rocket of Arianespace from the spaceport of Kourou in French Guyana. It also carries equipment for meteorological data relay and satellite-based search and rescue services being provided by earlier INSAT satellites. Huge advantages will be there with this GSAT 17. So this one, hopefully everybody is aware of this. You can just read the question and you can come to a conclusion. Which of the following is the new denomination that RBI is planning to print, 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 right? So this is going to happen, and of course, the process is going on, it seems. Everybody must be aware of this, right? Is it rupees 150, 200, 500, or 1000? Fine, and the answer is option B. All right, option B, that is rupees 2000 rupees. And of course, you know, with respect to 150 rupee notes, there is no idea, currency notes. And with respect to 1000 rupee currency notes, again, there is no idea for RBI. So to go for this. And already we have rupees 500 currency in the market, currency note in the market. And RBI is planning to come out with the new currency notes of rupees 500 also, right? And the both the existing 500 rupee currency note and the new currency 500 rupee note are going to be, you know, existing in the market, and they are not going to withdraw the existing 500 rupee currency note. So but here the point is that the latest denomination with respect to currency note, that is going to be rupees 200. But otherwise, you know, practically we are facing lots of problems, right? So there are very less number of 100 rupee notes in the circulation. 50 rupee notes, 20 rupees or 10 rupees currency notes, they are very less in circulation, and this is creating lots of problem with respect to the change. And of course, right, and to some extent at least, rupees 200 rupee currency notes, so this is going to solve the problem. So we need to wait and watch, right? So practically, you know, the laborers, the people, and wherever the government has to pay the amount to some people, which is low number of rupees, then it is becoming very difficult, in fact. And the states, all the states are continuously requesting RBI to send them the lower denomination currency notes, but it is becoming very difficult. Clear? Of course, whenever you go for certain reforms, these difficulties will be always there for a period of time. But the efficiency of the government, the efficiency of the Indian system lies in that how exactly, how soon you will be filling these gaps, and how soon you will be removing these difficulties, right? And hopefully India has a capacity to come out of these difficulties. Now, so for this question, the answer is rupees 200 rupee denomination, right? This answer B. Okay, next. And kindly remember, at any time it may be a question. RBI governor, you must be aware of this gentleman. His name is Urjit Patel. Now, this PC Mahalanobis, Professor Prashant Chandra Mahalanobis. So whenever we speak anything about Indian economy or Indian planning system, he is the person who comes to our mind, PC Mahalanobis. And yesterday, that was June 29th, it was his 125th birth anniversary, which was attended by the President of India. All right. And look at this. Professor PC Mahalanobis is the pioneer of the applied statistics and the architect of economic planning in our country. Architect of economic planning in our country, it was Professor PC Mahalanobis. It may be a possible question in any examination, so kindly remember this. Who was the architect of Indian economic planning? Answer is Professor PC Mahalanobis. And he was a visionary of extraordinary dimension. Look at this. Indian Statistical Institute was started by Professor Mahalanobis. It imparts high quality education. Right. So this is the Indian Statistical Institution. It is located in Kolkata. So please remember this. Okay. Since it is the 125th birth anniversary regarding this gentleman, so there may be any question. All right. And we go further. I'll show you some other points. Another possible question in any forthcoming examination. Statistics Day. Right. And in the year 2007, the government has announced that June 29th, the birth anniversary of PC Mahalanobis will be celebrated as Statistics Day. And every year there is a theme for this Statistics Day. So what is the theme for this particular year? So we'll try to look into this, and we'll also understand what exactly is the meaning of that. Kindly have a look at this. In the recognition of the notable contributions made by late Professor Prashant Chandra Mahalanobis in the fields of statistics, statistical system and economic planning, Government of India in the year 2007 designated 29th June, the birth anniversary of Professor PC Mahalanobis, as the Statistics Day. Please remember this, very, very, very important. There are so many days, right, that we celebrate, and kindly add this particular day to that list if you are not already aware of this. Clear? And this may be a possible question because we have just celebrated 125th birth anniversary of PC Mahalanobis. Right? And this is the day, this has been added in the category of the special days to be celebrated every year at the national level. And kindly remember, administrative statistics. Please remember this one. This is the theme of the Statistics Day of this year, administrative statistics. What is the meaning of this? Administrative statistical systems needs to be further strengthened as it is both cost and time effective, and it reduces the dependence on the census and sample surveys. Kindly remember what is the theme of the 2017 Statistics Day, and the answer is administrative statistics. Okay, so that's all for the day. I'll stop at this stage, and we'll meet in the next class, and we'll continue. This very frequently I'll be touching the concept of this GST. There are many things, and kindly don't come to a conclusion either completely positive or negative with respect to GST. Right? It takes some time for India to get adjusted to this system. So maybe few months, and people and definitely there will be some confusion, at least some confusion, or larger confusion will be there in the first few months, right? But India, this is going to be settled very soon, and we have the experience with the various other nations where GST has been a successful one, and in India also it is going to be a successful one. And previously, so we know the concept of this tax evasion. how the people will evade the tax, maybe direct taxes or indirect taxes. But GST is related to indirect taxes, as we already know this. And in future, it becomes very difficult for the people to evade this tax. Clear? So these are traders, they cannot evade the tax. And the system has been developed in such a way that we are going to understand in future. The system has been developed in such a way that a GST has to be paid even by a kirana shop holder. A kirana shop, I'm talking about a small kirana shop holder. So even he or she cannot escape from this this clutches of this GST. And it has been planned in such a way, right? So that is the reason why. So in the beginning, certain problems will be there, and some traders may, this go for certain agitations. Those things will definitely are going to happen. But very soon, once everything is settled, the Indian government will be collecting GST, and larger money will be coming to the government. Obviously, so when the larger money is coming to the government, there may be a possibility in future that the tax burden on the people may be reduced over a period of time. Clear? At the same time, because the inflow of the money is huge for the government may go for various welfare schemes. So various welfare schemes, and definitely that is going to be helpful. So once you don't have the money, obviously you will have your own restrictions of spending the money. But so once the money is flowing in a huge amount, fine. So this is the biggest advantage with the GST. Huge amounts will flow into the government, and the government will have the free hand to decide and and implement various welfare programs. Clear? So maybe for education, so maybe for health, various, this housing, so many concepts will be developed in future. So that is the reason why the people of the country should cooperate. Traders in the country should cooperate with the government, so to at least for some time, till the whole things are settled down, right? And hopefully in India, GST is going to be a very, 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 very successful one. So this is a very big reform, so that is being introduced in India. So within very, very few minutes from now, right? So we wholeheartedly welcome this reform. Kindly remember this one. Whenever I say reform, the word is always used for change towards the positive side. But the positive side change may not happen overnight. It takes little time. That is the reason why patience is very, very important. Otherwise, here, so from tomorrow itself, from day after tomorrow itself, the government will be criticized. Of course, we have freedom of speech and expression, and we can criticize the government. But it is always better to give some time to the existing government, because it's a very big thing that India is undergoing now. Fine. So hopefully everything will be fine, and the people will also understand, and the revenue to the government will also be increased. And obviously, so when we all pay the taxes nicely, obviously more revenue will be there, more welfare mechanisms, more welfare programs will be implemented in the country, and the people will be leading a very, very happy life, right? Expecting everything very good. So right, starting from few minutes from now. Fine. And I wish you all the very, very best, and I see you in the next class. Thank you so much.